Bet from Bet's Makes, and today we're going to make a perfect monogram. One that has all of the letters together with great sight lines, and we're even going to do something special with the words in the middle. So I hope you really enjoy this, and before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So let's get crafting. Today I'm going to take our monogram to the next level. So this is actually part 2 of our monogram series. We're going to start by making a nice large letter, and in this case I'm going to make the letter N, and we're going to pick a very generic font. Will be Times New Roman. This is the easiest one to work with, and I am going to take this little N and I am going to stretch it so we have something that's pretty big, as if we're going to cover a box with it. So if I go to about the 1 inch, and I'm even going to unlock it and make it a little longer, bring it down to 10. Perfect. Lock it back again. Now what we're going to do with this monogram this time is we're going to slice it in a way that these lines stay connected together in a way. Actually, visually, those lines will look perfect. Let's just move this over to the center. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to need a box across the middle. So let's take a square, and I'm just going to change the color of that square so I can see it more readily. I'm going to unlock it, and we're going to go out 1 space wider and 1 space wider here. That looks pretty good. But now I only want it 1.5 tall, so let's change this to 1.5. That looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to lock it back up, and I'm going to take these two things and I am actually going to center them. So it's a line, and then we're going to center vertically. Looks pretty good. So that will actually slice it in half. Normally if we slice it in half, you get this top piece and you get the bottom piece, and they're a little bit disjointed. But with this, we're going to be able to slice it and still get it looking really good. So what I want to do next is I want to duplicate this rectangle. And this time I'm going to unlock it, and I'm going to make it 1.25. Also going to change the color. We'll make it a nice red. And then I will also center these together. So let's go back here again, and we're going to align. We're going to align vertically. And this time I also need to align it horizontally, so it's right in the center. So you see I have a little purple line here, a little purple line. That is the line behind and the letter. Now this is a really cool trick. I'm going to select the letter, and then I'm going to select the purple behind it. You can tell I have them selected if you look over here at the layers panel. I've got the purple and the N selected. All we're going to do now is we're going to weld them, and that becomes one piece. And you may wonder what happened to, of course, our other piece, which is the red one. Well, that is in behind, so now we have to move that to the front. And you'll see that we have now just this area that we're going to use as a slice. So now let's just highlight both and let's slice them. Now we can get rid of the red piece and we can get rid of the black piece. Now you have a perfect N, and you'll see that the visual lines match perfectly. So now we're ready to put in another word here. So let's pick our text again, and let's go with a font that is more like writing. So let's try a writing font, just see what we get. Lucinda handwriting, okay, that will do. And then we'll put in here, I'm just going to put a new day. I'm going to change the color of it as well. Change it back to purple. That's just so I can see it. We're going to move it up into the center, and of course we can leave it as is, but you'll see that the spacing is not quite what I want. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to select this and then I'm going to ungroup it. Just like before, you can ungroup. So now I can take the Y and move it closer. And I want the W a little closer to the E. Maybe not quite touching, but very close. And then I want the A to go out further, and I'm going to do something different with the A. I'm actually going to stretch it so it's quite a bit bigger. And you'll see that I have some pieces right over top of the bar, which is perfect. Now what I want to do is I want to join this back together again. So what I'm going to do is turn off my letter, and I'm going to join this together, and I'm going to weld it so it stays as one piece. And then I'm going to turn my letter back on. So now that looks really good. Now I'm going to do a little thing that's a little bit different, and that is I'm going to make this A look like it goes behind one side and over top of another. So the first thing I want to do is select both pieces. So I'll just hit my shift here, get both pieces, and I'm going to slice it. And when I slice it, you're going to see some extra cuts. So let me just turn off, and you'll see the extra cuts in here. So I'm going to turn off the purple cuts, and you can see that there's some black cuts in here, really hard to see. Let me just highlight these and take it all together. I'm going to weld it back together. So now it's one piece. I'm going to open up the eyes here and pieces here. Now I'm going to bring this to the front again because I did a weld. I'm going to send it to the front. Now it doesn't look like anything's really different. So if I turn off this and I turn off my letters, you'll see that there's a couple of spaces in here. These are the pieces that were cut out against the bar. Now I want these two to go over top. Actually, I want these two pieces to go over top and these two pieces underneath. And we're just going to take two of them away. So if these go over top and these are underneath, I'm going to have to get rid of these two pieces. So I'm going to take a shape, take a square, and I'm just going to make it small enough so it covers my one piece here. Then I will duplicate it and take it over this piece. And I'm going to select only the two squares, and I am going to weld them together, and that becomes one piece. Now the pieces behind are also one piece. So now all I have to do is slice. Then I can get rid of the pieces I don't want. So I really don't want any of these pieces, and they're gone. So I'm left with the two here. I'm going to turn on my letter again. Now what I want to do is I want to weld all of this back together. So I'm going to make sure I have the two pieces selected and the letter itself, as you can see here on the layers panel, and I am going to weld those together. So now I've got a new day, and let's turn on the N again, and it looks like the rest of the A goes underneath and the other part is on top. This is a cool new way to do a monogram where you don't lose the eyesight line, so it's nice and smooth, so it looks like it goes right through, and a neat way in order to make things look like they go in behind. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and happy crafting. Well, I hope you had a lot of fun making this monogram. As you can see, the sight lines are perfect, and hiding part of a letter just adds pizzazz to that monogram. So before you go, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and happy crafting.